Hey guys, how's everybody doing today? I'm going to give it a second here and see if we can see who's going to hop on with us. I am April Nyman. I am Star Director of the A-Team. I am coming live to you from rainy, windy Oxford, Ohio. I live on a farm. Some of y'all might have heard me talk about it before. And because we are raining and it is a torrential downpour outside, I am at the end of my driveway in my car because I don't think that I will get reception back at my house. So, I am going to be covering creating a growth mindset culture. This is something near and dear to my heart. It's the one thing with my business and my team that absolutely gets me motivated, and I can't quite learn enough about it. And I have lots of papers because I'm like that paper kind of person. I wish I could just off the cuff. And I'm gonna, if there's any questions, I'll answer at the end, but I'm gonna swipe everybody's comments off because if not, I'll have squirrel moments the whole time here. So let's get started because I got lots of stuff to cover. I wrote down all these bullet points and I hope I have enough time to cover everything. So, growth mindset. You have a choice. We all have a choice. Every day and every moment and everything that we do, we have a choice. Mindsets are simply just beliefs. They're powerful beliefs, but they're just something that's in your mind. And the best part about all of this is that you have the power to change your mind at any time. And you can help other people learn how to change their minds too. And so that's where this is going to come into play with our teams. And it's okay if you're a newer consultant and you don't quite have a team yet. These are great things to start thinking about as you are growing your business and growing your team. So when I talk about creating a growth mindset culture, when I talk about culture, everywhere you go is your culture. You're growing and building your culture. So I'm talking about your team, I'm talking about your business as a whole, and I am talking about your customers, because your customers to me are your future team members. And most importantly, we're talking about you. So everything, it all starts with you. Like they say, your vibe attracts your tribe. So it all starts with you. And as you start to change your mindset or grow your mindset, you're going to start to notice that you attract the right kind of people to you and to your team and to your business. One of the things that I draw off of, some people are kind of like naturally, nature versus nurture. Some people are just kind of naturally, when we talk about mindsets, I should talk about the difference between the fixed mindset and a growth mindset. So people who are stuck in a fixed mindset, they ignore feedback. They don't try, they give up easily, they avoid challenges, they think the mistakes are bad. I know you guys all know people like this. And some of it is a product of how they were raised. Some of it is just naturally, they're just kind of like that. And then there's the growth mindset people. They learn from failure, they put in the effort, they keep going, they embrace challenges, and they learn from feedback. And that's what we want to try to instill into ourselves and into our team members. And most people are a mix of both, right? So that's why you constantly have to work on building and growing a growth mindset and make sure that you're staying into a growth mindset yourself. So one of the experiences, I kind of feel like I was always, I've always naturally fallen into more of a growth mindset. And from early on when I was a little girl, my dad was not really a huge part of my life. But the times that he was there, I can vividly remember him telling me, April, you can be anything you want to be when you grow up, as long as you put your mind to it. And like, how profound was that? Like, you can be anything you want to be as long as you put your mind to it. Now, there are some things that I couldn't be, but for the most part, with a growth mindset, you can do and be anything you want to be if you put the time and effort and work into growing to get there. So when I started Scentsy, I've had other leadership positions in my life. When I was in, oh, sorry, it might get kind of loud. It is like pouring down rain right now. So I was in the Army. I had leadership positions in the Army, kind of all the things I did in school. But it wasn't until I got into Scentsy and started building a team that I really felt challenged in a leadership position. It changed the face of my business. It's absolutely my favorite part of my Scentsy business is having a team, but it's very challenging at the same time because those voices creep into your head that I'm not good enough. I need to keep a track on time too. I don't know where I'm going to see that. I guess over here. And so I wasn't comfortable, but instead of pushing off having a team, I decided that I was going to working on growing into becoming a better leader. So it's okay if you don't feel like you're a great leader or that you're not cut out for leadership. It's something that you can grow into and you can learn and get better at. The biggest thing, well, there's two big things that have worked for me, but reading is at the top of my list. I talk about books a lot. I read a lot of books. I suggest books to my team members. Books. If anybody comes to me talking about an issue they're having or some area they're wanting to grow in, the first thing that I do is recommend a book. Not just any random book, but a book that is dealing with whatever issue, whether it's motivational, something they're needing to work through on their life, leadership books, all kinds of stuff. The great thing about books, especially if you're leading team members, is it adds tools. So every book that you read is like adding a tool into your leadership toolbox. These are the things that you're going to draw on when you're helping team members deal with issues. Because most of the issues that team members have aren't just, where do I find that on the workstation? Or how do I, show somebody, how do I sell a diffuser? The bigger issues are, how do I build up the confidence to talk to people? How do I get outside of my comfort zone, right? It's mindset things. So as you're leading your team, you want to think about how are you adding value to them? Another thing, so I said two main things. The other thing that I do besides reading is I follow other leaders who I admire and I learn what's working for them, and I take bits and pieces from all of them and put those in my toolbox too. That's what's so great about this AHA page. You have all kinds of awesome leaders who are sharing their best tips, and you can go through and listen and add tools to your own toolbox. Your number one job as a leader is to create and maintain a positive environment where motivated people can thrive. So anytime I start to feel uncomfortable as a leader, and it still happens, it's like that little voice in your head, you're not good enough. Why you're not inspiring enough. You're not as good as so-and-so, right? Those are all thoughts that you constantly have to push out of your head and push through. So when that starts to happen to me, I set back and I say to myself, okay, I am good enough. And my number one job as a leader is to create and maintain a positive environment where motivated people can thrive. And so for me, that's my team page. And I know a lot of you guys have team pages too. So how do we do that? When dealing with people, one of the most important things is going to be to not judge people. Scentsy is amazing because it's a come as you are, family oriented, family culture. There's so many different personalities. We're so many different leadership styles, so many different sales styles within your business. So don't judge people. We're going to teach. It's a learning process. Most people on your team, as you're growing a team and then you're starting to look farther into your team to build your next leaders, I tell people, if you're building leaders, you create another you. So I'm out learning all these great things, and then I'm going to teach it all to somebody else. Most people need you to believe in them before they can believe in themselves. And it's just empowering others to do great things, to show them what you see in them. I read something, and a lot of the things that I'm talking to about right now, I've read in books, and I forget which books I've read them and where, but I heard something or read something or saw a video about something a while back, and it said, imagine And I've been implementing it into my life, and it's been a game changer for me. Imagine that everybody that you met, you assumed, I assume everything I'm dealing with, every person I'm dealing with, I automatically assume that they are doing the best they can with what they have to work with, right? So I'm just always assuming the best. If somebody's being nasty to me, I think, you know what? They must be having a bad day. I always just assume the best. The people have the best intentions, because they are doing the best they can with what they have to work with. And it has never steered me wrong. This goes with team members, with customers, with other consultants, with anybody that you're dealing with. So a lot of the things that we're talking about with growth mindset, not only is it going to change your team and your business, it changes your life first. One tool, and this is probably my favorite tool that I use for myself, my team members, I tell them if they're having an issue or there's something I'm dealing with, I'm not seeing the growth I want to see, haven't booked enough parties, I need some new team members, okay, whatever the issue is I'm dealing with, how can you change your perspective? To me, perspective is mindset. How can I change my mindset? How can I look at this in a different way? And there's a quote, and I need to look up who said it because I say this quote a lot, and there's probably some of my friends who are on right now or some of my team members that have heard me say this before. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's all in your head. Like, your brain is such a powerful thing. Your mindset is such a powerful thing. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. So there's a lot of times when you're stuck in a moment and you think, okay, I'm going to take myself out of this moment and I'm going to look outside of myself and I'm going to change the way I'm looking at it. How can I spin this? And instead of giving up easily or avoiding this challenge like a fixed mindset, how can I learn from this and put in more effort? How can I push through and keep going and put myself into a growth mindset? And that's what really helps me work through problems, and that's how I walk my team members through problems that they're dealing with. So what are some tangible things? So we've kind of talked about mindset, what it means to be in a growth mindset, why it's important, but what are some tangible things that I do? So my culture for my team is my team page. We do team meetings and things like that, one-on-one conversations, but as a team, as a culture, the main thing for us is going to be our team page on Facebook. I don't allow negativity. I don't allow complaining. They can complain to me, but if there's any negativity, or I tell them, imagine that a brand new person just came onto our team page and they're thinking about joining our business. Is it something you'd want them to see and hear? Right? And I guard our team page with my heart. And we don't have any issues. I never have to delete things. People are so positive because that's the culture that we've created in there. I push people to do tasks. So I am the leader, but I'm also building leaders. So once one of my team members has their own team member, I go to them and say, hey, did you see so-and-so earn their shooting star? Some people I have to, walk through this a little more than others. Some are on top of it. And then I say, hey, make sure you shout them out on the team page if they haven't already. So I push them to do their own shout outs for their team page. Let's see, and then I teach them to teach their team members to do the same thing. So as it goes down the generations, you're teaching them to take care of their people, and you're building up and coming leaders. I push books. I want everybody to read. I know not everybody is a reader. If you don't love to read books, Audible is a great thing when you're driving, when you're mowing the grass, when you're cleaning the house. Whether it's books or trainings like the AHA page or weekly trainings from Sensi. I need to watch my time. Let's see. Monthly incentives. I do my monthly incentives a lot different than some people. My motto for monthly incentives on our team page is, you don't incentivize the growth, you incentivize the behavior that produces the growth. So what does this mean? It means instead of saying, okay, everybody who sells $500 this month gets entered into a drawing for a prize, there's some people on your team that haven't figured out how to sell $500 yet. So you're missing out on a lot of people, and you want to engage everybody on your team. So I do things like I didn't think of examples, but there's lots of examples, and maybe I'll share some more later in the comments. Random acts of kindness, things that spread good energy, stepping outside of your comfort zone, which is going to be different for everybody. So maybe to get entered into our monthly drawing, you need to post on the team page something you did that was outside of your comfort zone, and it's going to be different for everybody. So maybe they didn't sell $1,000 this month, and maybe they didn't add 5 new team members, but you know what? You push somebody to get outside of their comfort zone a little bit, and they're growing. So not only are your high achievers growing, because they're also something, you know, they're pushing outside of their comfort zone too, but your people who are, you know, maybe never, their goal isn't to sell a lot, but they still can learn and grow. So I don't incentivize the growth. I incentivize the behavior that produces the growth. So if you're wanting your team to add new team members, maybe you, instead of giving them an entry for every new team member that they add, you say every time that you pass out, every time you have a join conversation, every time you have a conversation with somebody, post here, and you're gonna, because all those conversations are gonna lead to new team members, right? So incentivize the growth. Don't incentivize the growth, incentivize the behavior that produces the growth. Okay, I need to hurry up. Oh, I think I'm actually doing good. 1:49. All right. So much to cover. Celebrate the small wins. We celebrate everything. Shooting star, sensational start. It could be, hey, somebody will text me and say, oh my gosh, April, I got outside of my comfort zone, and I talked to my waitress at Bob Evans this morning, and I'm so excited, and they're beaming with good energy, and they're so excited for themselves, that this person that they talked to about the Scentsy opportunity. And I say, oh my gosh, that's awesome. But you know what? Go share that in our team page. That's a win. We celebrate all these small wins. It's no different when you become a director or a star director or superstar director, leading a huge team of 500, 5,000, 50,000. You still have to celebrate those small wins. I still do the happy dance every time I get the courage up enough to talk to somebody that I don't know, when I talk to a stranger. It's gotten a little bit easier. I have a few more tools in my toolbox that I use to talk myself through those moments, but I celebrate all those small wins. So when you do that on your team page and you're celebrating these wins with all your team members, then it gives other people the courage to go out and do those same things. Another thing that I do with my team members is my up-and-coming leaders, as they're building teams underneath themselves, building their own teams, I have them start their own team page early on. And a lot of them think, oh, no, I can't do what you do. Oh, yeah, you can, because I don't do anything special. And you're going to see, because you're going to start your own team page, and you're just going to mirror the same things that I do, but it gives them a small, more intimate group where they can create those one-on-one bonds with their own team members. They can do their own shout-outs, do their own challenges. They're going to mostly do the same things that I do, but they're going to start gaining that confidence in themselves. So as they keep growing and adding new team members, they're already leaders. They're already leading. It's not a big deal. It's like, hello, you're a director now. Congratulations on your promotion. But guess what? You've already been running your team like a director. So I don't do anything special. And that's another thing that I kind of teach my team is, not that my team thinks that I'm special, but that I'm just doing the same thing that they're doing, you know, except that I'm learning, and I'm drawing off of other leaders, and I'm reading books and sharing things with a large group of people where everybody can motivate and work together. So when you are thinking about creating a growth mindset culture on your team, I want you to think, how are you adding value to your team members? How are you adding value to your customers? How are you adding value to your business, to your family, to the people that you're around every day? Let your light shine, and it's okay. There's going to be people out there who try to dim you out, and that's why it's so important to constantly be adding tools to your toolbox. Let's see, if I think that's everything that I've covered that I wanted to talk about, and I actually got through it faster than I thought I would. The last little thought that I want to leave you guys with is, if you want to change someone's business, and this is something I think about when I'm working with team members, if you want to change their business, if you see so much potential in somebody and maybe they just aren't quite doing the things that they need to do to grow, if you want to change their business, help them change their life. And that's where the growth mindset comes in. If you want to help them change their business, help them change their life. Help them develop that growth mindset and become a better version of themselves. And it will directly flow down into their business and to their teams, into their families. So that is everything I have for you guys today. I hope you took a little tidbit away from the few little nuggets that I had to share. I get really excited talking about it. But thank you to our AHA page admins, Candy and Andy, for having me come on today and share. I get the privilege of introducing our next presenter. Sorry, windshield wipers are going. I knew that was going to happen. Oops. I'll just hold it. Her name is Ariel Huggins, and she has an amazing team of 101 awesome consultants, and she has 2 directors in her group. She will earn the annual sales award this year, which is crazy awesome. This is also her first year earning the top level of the incentive, so I can't wait to meet her in Spain on the Mediterranean cruise. But the coolest part, this is amazing, awesome. She has had 1,500% growth, 1,500% growth year over year. So last year over this year. So I can't wait to hear what she has to talk to us about. So make sure that you hop off of here and hop right back on and wait for her to come on live and teach us all kinds of awesome stuff. But thanks for hanging out with me today. And now the rain has stopped and the sun is coming out here on the farm, and I hope you guys have a good day and get to hang out and learn all kinds of great stuff on the AHA page today. But thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.